I need to create this axle, and normally of course to create a round part you'd stick it in the lathe, but this thing's L-shaped and I can't get it in the forejaw with this length here, and even if it was, you know, quite a bit shorter, I'd be a little bit worried about it. So what I'm going to attempt to do is reverse bore it. I've done that in the past with bronze. This steel might be easier, hope it is. The trick to doing this, for me anyway, is going to be to remember to turn the mill on in reverse. I've got a stop set, so I'll know when to stop. Also, I've got the DRO set, my Mickey Mouse DRO I built. So I think we're good to go. Stop and the DRO agree. So I'm going to crank it in 10 thousandths and see what happens. Let's see what 10 thousandths sounds, feels like, looks like. Well, everything seems to be working. Of course, at 10 thousandths, that will be forever. So we'll probably take a little more every cut. But I'll experiment to find out just how much more. Back in a minute. Well, there's a little better angle perhaps. All four sides are cutting well now. And here's a 20 thousandth inch cut. This is the king of the interrupted cuts, I suppose. And the finish will be horrible until we get something approaching round. Currently it's roughly 3/4 by 3/4, and it has to go to 0.600 diameter. It's going to be a slow process, and I'm not going to take too many video clips until we get to portions of the bore that are somewhat interesting. Might take one more at 30 thousandths here though. I mean 20 thousandths cut. Here's another cut at 20 thousandths. Sounds pretty terrible, doesn't it? I'm not going to worry at all about the finish until it gets closer to something that looks like a brown. Also, I'm cutting 76 SFM. I would have liked to have cut at, well, on my mill it'd be 107 or 8 SFM with the RPM settings I have available. I would like to cut this 1018 mild steel at something around 100 SFM, but it was just too out of balance with the boring bar way off to the side like this. Perhaps as this thing gets smaller, I can, and I move the boring bar in, I'll be able to speed it up a little bit. Well, it has the qualities of roundness. Not hammering quite so bad. I'm still taking 20 thousandths inch cuts, and I haven't sped the machine up to 107 or 8 SFM yet. So here's what a 20 thousandths inch cut sounds like. It's still highly interrupted and hammering, but the finish is not near as bad as I thought it would be. Trying to see how good the finish can be with this boring bar. Of course, while it's hammering, while the cut is interrupted like this, I don't suppose it can ever be too good. We'll have to get round before I can really look at the finish, consider it. Not too bad, it could be a lot better. And it may get a lot better. I sped it up to 108 SFM, which is 550 RPM with these settings. See what it cuts like. Feels good. It's not out of balance too much, or any at all. I think I can feel it a little bit out of balance. But the rounder this gets and the smaller it gets, the more balance we'll achieve. C5 tip on this boring bar. I think this can be all right. It's almost round. Maybe this cut will make it round. Let's see. 20 thousandths. Sounds a lot smoother, doesn't it? feels a lot smoother. Come up slow and see what the finish looks like. I'm not sure it's cutting. I can hear it rubbing. Rubbing's never good. Maybe it's cutting a tiny bit. Maybe that's good. In my dreams. Well, it's round. Finish could be a little better. That'll work. Better mic it and see where we are. We're nowhere close, but I'll do it anyway. I cranked it up to about 113, 112 and a half or so SFM. And still it's nicely balanced, so let's see what we can do here. Cutting very well. Making some little string chips. Looks more like a lathe every day, or every cut, I should say. Going to work. The workpiece is at 0.644 on its way to 0.600, or actually I'm going to fit it to this hole, which is 0.600 more or less. I mic'd it at 0.600, but we're going to cut this OD to fit that hole rather than trying to make that hole fit this OD. So here's another 20 thousandths inch cut. Finish is improving all along here. Never been able to get a stunningly good finish in 1018 anyway, but I'm not concerned about this finish that much. I keep talking about it because I suppose that's what we're all shooting for, something that looks pretty. As an amateur, that is. I don't feel it cutting at all. Whoop, there it touched. I'll take smaller cuts towards from now on, actually. And then I'll take some spring cuts. It looks good. Let's mic it. Well, we're at 624 and a half. That's exactly 20 thousandths from where we were. It's not bad for an old grizzly mill. I like this mill, but my next one is definitely going to have some additional features. One of them is going to be a power down feed. We're at 0.608 on the way down to 0.600, or until this fits. So I'm really taking small cuts, and I'll make sure I take spring cuts, and I'm fitting that as we go. But here's a 5/1000 inch cut. This is a Grizzly G3616 I bought in 2007. Weighs about 1,400 pounds. Got a 9 by 41 or 2-inch table. 2 horsepower. Step forward. Let's see what the micrometer says. Well, it says 6.608. So we'll take a little more. Okay, I'm at 0.603 and the boring head is cutting what I dial in. So I'm going to take about 2.5 thousandths and see if she'll come closer to fitting. Finish is plenty good enough for this scissor knurl axle. Not going to see a lot of high speed scissoring. This piece is way too long, but I didn't have any good way to cut it in my 1-inch bandsaw. So what I'm going to do is, after I get it to size, diameter, I will mill it down to the 0.750 or thereabouts size that I need. We're at 0.601. I'm going to take her down 1 thousandths. I imagine we'll have to go down 2 or 3 thousandths, of course, but we'll inch up on it. That might have been 1.5 thousandths. First time I've ever used the wheel stop on this machine. I've had it all these years. I've never used the wheel stop because it looked Mickey Mouse, but it's definitely not. It works really well. Miking it at this point is largely irrelevant. It either fits or it doesn't. Well, I'm right at 0.600. I'm pretty sure we'll have to go further. Feels smooth. I'll chamfer it a little bit with a file off camera because most of this, well, not most of it, but twice this thickness, because there's two of these, so twice this thickness is what I need right here. I'll be back. Well, I think I'm taking 1/2 thousandths on this cut. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. But I really want to sneak up on this. Doesn't sound like it took any, does it? Five 10,000ths might not make a lot of noise. I'm fairly confident it's still not going to fit. I had no good way to mic when I bored this hole. I had no really good way to mic it. I used snap gauges. Which I think, you know, are good things to use, and I don't have a tremendous amount of experience with them, but I imagine I got fairly close to 0.600. But it looks like it might have been on the high side of that rather than the low side. Well, according to the mic, I took off almost 1/2 thousandths. It's not even really acting like it wants to fit on there yet. So, I'll take off 1 thousandths. I'll be back. Well, we got it. It's a nice fit. This is the excess material. I will mill that off in a little bit in the next operation probably.